Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 526. We're here live in Southwest Florida watching the sunrise over the buildings and the trees in the east. And this is the beautiful Gulf of Mexico behind me. Let me try and get out of the direct line of the sun. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting this morning, or if you have any questions of any kind. Hi, Joe and Thea and Christy, Jane, Pamela, Brenda. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Joe, I'll answer you in a second. Hi, Carol and Cherie, Grace, Lisa, Edna, Judy, Lily, Melissa. Somebody asked if red tide was bad right now. They say it is, but I don't go in the water. Hi, Christina, Naomi, Judy, G. Can't get the rest of the names. G Mark something. Hi, Thea. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Vimala and Christine, Judy. Hi, Sherry and Grace, Cranjeet. No, I'm not at Barefoot Beach this morning. Hi, Melissa, Joe, and Sims, and Carrie, and Pamela. Yes, it is a beautiful beach this morning. Absolutely. Beautiful beach every morning, but yes, it's nice and bright and sunny, and the colors are bright and saturated. We've got some amazing blues here this morning. So happy to see so many people joining this morning. Hi, Karen. So welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 526. It is the Monday morning before Thanksgiving. If you live in the U.S., Thanksgiving is our gratitude holiday on Thursday, and we won't have a podcast that day. Also in the U.S., traditionally there is a Black Friday sale after Thanksgiving Day, so we will be having a Black Friday event on my website. I will tell you more about it as we get closer. It looks like some companies are starting at Friday, some start at Thursday, some start at Wednesday. I can promise you I won't disrupt your family holiday on Thursday by releasing anything that day, but we'll see if I can get everything done in time to start it on Wednesday, or if it will start on Friday. But the best way to find out about my Black Friday promotion is to be signed up for my mailing list, and you can get a link to that in the video description below. There's a link for my free mailing list, and that's where I will be announcing it. I'll be announcing it in an email, which will include a blog post on my website. So I guess if you have RSS feed, if that's still a thing, to my blog, you could also be signed up there. But the easiest way is to sign up for my mailing list, and that'll be the first place that I announce. The Create, Share, Inspire podcast this week will not be going on Thursday, and the Cooking Live show, I'm trying to debate what days to do that. We normally do that Tuesdays and Thursdays, so obviously Thursday won't work, but I have just found out that I have company staying with me all week starting tomorrow, and I have more guests for my Thanksgiving dinner. So I decided I've got inspired to come up with some ideas for quick appetizers. So I thought if I want to share that on the next Cooking Live show, should probably do that sooner than later, so you have an opportunity to go shopping still if you wanted to make something like I'm making. And my idea for the appetizer is going to be not only for a savory appetizer, but for a sweet appetizer and a dessert. And they'll be good for anything from anywhere you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Now, it involves a trip to a craft store and a trip to a grocery store. So, would you rather me do that tonight at 5 o'clock Monday, or Tuesday, our regular time at 5 o'clock? Because you'd still have a couple of days if you did it Tuesday as well. So I'll wait a minute and see what everybody thinks about that. I also have to go to the airport Tuesday night, so I'll either have both shows back to back on Tuesday, plus then picking up guests at the airport Tuesday. So tonight might be better for me, but that means I'll have to duplicate everything because whatever I make tonight won't be saved until Thanksgiving either. So it doesn't really work either way for me. So I feel like it might work better for all of you if you're inspired to do something similar, but give you another day for shopping. So I haven't decided yet. So I haven't scheduled it yet. So I will decide by noon today and schedule it at either place, and I'll share the link in a post here in the community tab on YouTube, and I'll share a post in the Create, Share, Inspire group on Facebook when I decide. Fair enough, right? I'm glad you all are being supportive about whatever works. So that's great. Hi, Doctor. Okay, so I did release a new digital product this weekend, and I haven't announced it anywhere yet. No emails, no blog posts, no nothing. It's just available in my single pattern store, and that is a brand new stitch pattern tutorial. So the new stitch pattern tutorial is called Elise, and just like in the format of all the other stitch pattern tutorials before it, I have taken a stitch pattern and I have converted into 7 different types of shapes that it can all be increased in any number of ways, along with a list of 90 projects that you can apply these shapes to. So it is a 2-row repeat, which is one of those stitch patterns that doesn't require knit or crocheting into a stitch. You work into spaces, which if you do a lot of evening work that involves low lighting, or if you like having projects to take to craft events or social events, it's one that's easier to look up from. So anyway, we've got it in working even in rows. We have working even in rounds. Then we have a square motif. You could also easily join these to other motifs too if you wanted to make the motifs and join them. This is a circle motif, a hexagon motif, top-down triangle motif, so you could make any type of a shawl you could possibly want with that one, and then a rectangle motif. I've often thought that not only would a rectangle be great for a throw or for placemats or other home deck stuff, but imagine doing an Afghan where you line these up offset and did like subway tile or bricklaying. Wouldn't that be cool? Especially if you did it in 2 different colors. So the stitch pattern tutorial not only comes with the written instructions for all 7 of those shapes, but it also comes with charts for each 7. Almost lost these on the way to the beach this morning. I was coming out of my car and they fell out of my hand, and the wind took them off across the road, and I was running around like a maniac trying to pick them up. Anyway, so we've got the charts for all 7 of the stitch patterns. All of these are here, and then it comes with a pattern as well. So I've included the Elise beaded doily pattern, which you can buy on its own for $1.99. It's all included in the 52 Crochet Gifts book if you'd rather have it that way. Or it is also the circular motif that is grown into a larger shape with an amazing lace edging border. And that's done in the circle motif. So this entire PDF is $3.99. It includes the charts and the written instructions to make all 9 shapes in the Elise stitch pattern. It comes with the pattern to make the beautiful beaded doily, and it comes, I think I said it came with the charts too. And then it also comes with those great lists of 90 projects, including all the dimensions you could possibly need to make any type of a project with any of those shapes. So for example, if you were going to do working even in rows, I give you dimensions for making a scarf for anything from a small child to an adult male. I'll show you how to make different size Afghans with this. And then for each of the shapes, I tell you all different types of projects with the dimensions you could possibly need, plus sizes, to make any number of projects with any of these 7 shapes. That is the most recent listing on my single pattern shop. So if you go to the single pattern shop, it's the first one. When this video is recorded instead of live, I'll post a link to the Elise stitch pattern tutorial as well. Does anybody, it's $3.99. Does anybody have any other questions? Someone from Germany is asking about this. This is the Minka hooded cowl. It's large enough to be a hooded cowl, and I like to wear it low. It's not cold enough to need it as a hood right now. This is a single pattern that you can also find in my single pattern shop, or you can find it in 52 crochet gifts, and it requires 1 ball of Biso toast and merino wool yarn blended together. It has a great chain fringe edging on it too. Very, very simple to make. And I've said a whole lot, so I'm going to hold off and wait for questions now. Jill's made this in hot coral and the scrunchie, and I also went scrunchie this morning. I curled my hair with hot rollers this morning instead, can you tell? Cherie loves this yarn. Me too. It's very soft. It's a blend of merino wool and bamboo yarn blended together, and it comes in a number 4 worsted weight called Biso Cozy and number 1 fingering weight called Biso Cozy. I see some laughter. Yes, laughter at my invisible curls. Yeah, that's what happens. Color is beautiful. Thank you, Lily. This color is called Aqua, and you can find it in my yarn shop. I see 2 people with metal detectors this morning. Oh, good. Speech found it. Great. Great. Hi, Petra. Jill has invisible thin body. Oh, like my invisible curl. Nice. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Got lots of crafting done. Pamela just purchased the Elise stitch pattern. Wonderful. I think you're going to love it. And like I said, this stitch pattern is one of those amazing ones for when you don't have, or you're not in a place where you could pay a lot of attention to your stitches. Everything's worked into spaces, not into actual stitches, which I know some of you will really appreciate that. Cherie's working on another summer love vest. Wonderful. That's great. Yes, is lovely. You know exactly what I mean then. Pamela knows what I mean too. That's great. Hi, Novella. Jill loves making the Linda mobiles. Yeah, that's another one that's new for 52 crochet gifts. That one and the Minka are both part of that. Pamela's made the Faith coasters from 52 crochet gifts and the Kate trivet from 80 handmade gifts. Wonderful. What is a doily? Doily is a fancy word for something decorative you place on a table. So you could call this a table runner or some other type of, it's not quite a placemat, it's a little bit bigger than a placemat, but it's something that I would imagine putting in the middle of a table. This one happens to be round. There are other ones that are rectangular. And if you think about it, you could make this with any of these stitches. So if you made the Elise beaded doily with the rectangle, you could make a table runner out of it and then add the beaded scallop edging to it, or you could make a square one first and then add the beaded scallop edging. And don't forget that if you wanted to make a shawl out of this, you could do a top-down triangle and then attach this edging to that instead. There's so many. Once you have something like one of these stitch pattern tutorials in your hands, you can apply whatever I've used on any of it to any of the other pieces. So in the Elise beaded doily pattern, I tell you what the multiple is for, what is the doily? I just explained what the doily is. It's just an English word for something you decorate a table with. What I was saying is, if you wanted to do this in another shape or do something, make any of the other types of projects with it, you could add that beaded scallop lace edging to any of it. This pattern's available now. You can find it now. If anybody is next to a computer and can post a link in here, that would be great. If you can't, I will post it as soon as I get back to my office after the podcast is over. I just don't have access to everything when I go live on location. You know, if I did all of this from my desk, it would be super easy to share all that. But in order, you know, there's pluses and minuses to everything, and the pluses to going on location in nature are certainly grand and wonderful, but the downside is that I don't have access to extra equipment to be able to share links while I'm talking. So sorry about that, but I can do it as soon as I get back. Or you can find it if you want to look on your own. If you go to the front page of my website and go to shop, the drop down button, go to thank you, Judy, for sharing a link, and drop down to single patterns. Someone's asking again what a doily is. I've explained it twice. If you want to go back and watch, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, I guess you could Google the definition if you're not understanding the way I've described it. I know not everybody's descriptions work for everybody, but I'm doing the best I can. Someone's asking for a color for the doily. This is Tuscan Terrace. This colorway is Tuscan Terrace, and it is Be So Fine yarn. Be So Fine yarn in Tuscan Terrace, and I use 6mm fire polish beads in Caribbean Opal, both of which you can find on my website. Hi, Marcia. Joe says she has Tuscan Terrace. Yeah, there's some darker, dark denim blue in there. There's some turquoise. There's a little bit of pink. There's some yellow. There's some gold. Very warm tones. And I just thought that the turquoise beads just really picked up on the brighter colors. But you could add, I think gold beads would be beautiful in there too. The cowl I'm wearing is called the Minka hooded cowl, and you can find that individually for sale on my website, or it's part of 52 Crochet Gifts. You can get it in either way. Excuse me. Good morning, Renee. Hi, Marcia. I can't remember if I said good morning to Marcia either. You're welcome, Barbara. I'm happy to help if I can. Thanks, Hannah. I love this color, but you guys know I love turquoise. I think it goes great with black. It goes great with bright colors. It goes great with white. It goes great with neutrals. I think bright pops of color look great with everything. Yeah, Sherry, I answered you earlier about the red tide. I have heard that red tide's going on. I don't go in the water, so I'm not affected by it that way. Some people say it's still respiratory. I haven't had anything other than like itchy eyes, and that's at home, so I'm not sure if it's related to red tide. I've had a bit of a stomach bug all weekend, but I don't think that's red tide related at all. Jill, you're going to love making the Minkas. They're so easy to make. Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I was up quite a bit last night, not feeling well. Yeah, the red tide does get in the air, and it can be respiratory. It can give you respiratory symptoms. I haven't noticed much. I'm not sure if it causes stomach stuff. I think I have a bit of a stomach bug, that's all. If people are going in the water, I think that they should check with the news or check with somebody to make sure that it's safe. I'm not entirely sure it's safe going in the water right now. Now we're in Southwest Florida, Naples and Bonita Springs. Anything from Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, Naples, and Marco Island are all affected by red tide right now. And I don't know how bad it is. I don't pay attention to it much because I don't go in the water. Yeah, if you Google red tide in Southwest Florida, I'm sure you can get some information on it and find out the severity of it. The information's out there. I just don't, I'm just not paying attention right now. I have my mind on other stuff. Renee, I didn't see what you shared, but I'm sorry for your loss too. I missed all of that. You saw a whole bunch of nice condolences sent your way, which speaks of what an amazingly thoughtful and kind community we have here at the podcast. So thanks everybody. Red tide is a type of algae that blooms naturally in our waterways, and sometimes it blooms too much. And when it blooms too much, it can cause fatal issues with sea life, and it can cause respiratory and allergy reactions in human beings in just being around the water. Having said all that, I'm now coughing at the beach. Yeah, Sherry, I would definitely check the conditions for them at the beaches that they're going to, or check it yourself. There's the information's available to them. Hi, Jeanette. Thanks, Joe. You're welcome, Petra. I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Donna. Yeah, I'm gonna go home and have some sparkling water for my stomach. I think maybe some crackers. Anyway, I'm going to end the podcast early right now. Definitely need to get back home. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, the Black Friday promotions are going to be announced for my website on my mailing list in an email. So if you're not already signed up for my mailing list, you can sign up at a link provided in the video description below. I can promise you that I will not disturb you on Thursday if you celebrate Thanksgiving. So I'll either announce it on Wednesday or Friday, but I don't know at the moment, but that's okay. I'll know soon. And what else was I going to mention? Regarding the podcast for the Cooking Live episode where I'm going to talk about holiday appetizers. It'll either be tonight at 5 or tomorrow at 5, and I'll decide by noon today and share that. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the beautiful scenery. We didn't even talk about the sound of those waves, which are just so amazing today. Hope you enjoyed my show and tell, chatting with me and everyone else. I'll post links in the video description for what we talked about this morning just as soon as I get back to my office. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.